The young people are not the future. The young people are the present. The present generation needs to prepare the next generation. All old people will always go where other old people went, and the young people will remain. It will be a danger for us to leave them without information, without navigation skills around the plane of life, combining the technologies of modernity and intelligence and wisdom of the past. Any strong government, any strong community will find the symbiosis between the young people and the old. Why? You need the wisdom of the old, and you need the energy of the young. Education and religion has put a big barrier between young people and old people. Young people think that old people don't understand, and old people think young people are just big-headed and they think they know everything. And that enmity is destroyed the common African crawl where the old and the young would sit together. And though the young people are not allowed to talk too much, but when they listen to the conversations of the old, and they're able to download information, because sooner or later, they'll be sitting in the same chairs and doing exactly what the elders were doing. So for a start, for me, what would be important for young people, I wrote a small little booklet, actually, which I would love to share with your viewers, entitled Shopping Skills. Shopping Skills. What I might even do is to make an arrangement that some of those books come into Kenya, and through you could distribute to the East African space. It's a small little booklet. I've done some TV programs on it, entitled Shopping Skills. So on Shopping Skills, there are 22 principles or 22 problems and challenges that young people go through. And then I'll try and maybe in this short session to take you through the various elements of that booklet. Shopping Skills, I'm using the shopping mall as a learning space that you are going to get to the shopping mall and speak once, you must hear me twice. Because when you get to the shopping mall, you're going to bring back items and goods, and anything can happen at the shopping mall. So life becomes a mall, and you become a shopper. So the first principle is you must decide whether you're the one pushing the trolley or you're a commodity that is on the shelf. That talks about empowerment, taking and making decisions by yourself. But principle number one, before you go shopping, you need to bath. Just bath. Clean up your body. No one wants to hang around a dirty person. That's life. Cleanliness, hygiene. Look after yourself. And many people might think I'm just talking about physical bathing. Then you miss me altogether. There's physical bathing. There's mental bathing. There's emotional bathing. There's spiritual bathing. It's both internal and external. We need mental cleanliness, emotional cleanliness, spiritual cleanliness, psychological cleanliness. This is decolonization at its most. And many of the young people who run into relationships, when they have not cleaned themselves, they are carrying their baggage with them into relationships. And we wonder why many of our young people right now are suffering and struggling with marriages and relationships. And the very first item says they have not yet cleaned themselves. So exclude your external baggage, your previous baggage, and etc., and prepare yourself to get to the shopping mall and you're clean. Principle number two, before you get to the shopping mall, eat at home. Don't run around the shopping mall hungry. You will be arrested for eating things on the shelf. So eat at home. What am I talking about? The very same things that you're looking for in life out there. Find them at home. You cannot go on the street looking for love and there's no love at home. So learn to clean your grandmother's feet, massage them. Learn to love your sisters and your siblings. Learn to start experimenting with relationships here at home, so that your attitude when you meet other people out there, it is much better, conducive, productive, and useful. So eat at home, clean yourself, and eat at home. Number three, Write your list at home before you go shopping. And I could see you whispering there, I'm going to buy $20 to Nyamachoma. Why is doing that? Before you get to the shop, you want to find out exactly what you want. What do you want as a young person in life? What are you looking for? And have that list so that when you see it, you know it. This is the one. There's nothing as difficult as having the body, having the money, and having the brain, and having the time, and not knowing what to do with it on the mall of life. Then you find that you pick up everything else that you think you like, sweets and ice cream and chewing gum, only to get back home and discover Colgate is missing, rice is missing. So critical things in life. Young people, we need them to start driving in life with a clear understanding exactly as to what are they looking for in life. No one owes you nothing. You're not entitled to anything. You're going to work for what you want because it's you who wants it. It's not the world that wants it for you. It's what you want for yourself. So it's important for young people, our present African young people. You need to know what you're looking for in life. Number 4, don't come to the shopping mall too early. Don't come to the mall too late. Coming too early, at the age of 11, 12, have a boyfriend, have a girlfriend. At 15, have a boyfriend, have a girlfriend. What am I going to do with them? This boyfriend can't even buy himself a pair of socks. He can't even buy a toothbrush. His mother is still telling him to pull up his pants. So you come too early, teenage pregnancy, because you're already getting involved in adult things and you're yet not ready. So there are things in life, young people. There are things when you begin to see hair growing under your armpits and growing in other wrong places. It's telling you that things are getting ready. But the fact that these things are getting ready doesn't mean that you're ready for them. So in life, there are things that are ready for you, but you're not ready for them. Don't come too late. Don't wait until you are 50 or 60. Then you want to start building a family and building a home and growing up your children and retirement funds. Don't come too early. Don't come too late. Come just on time. You need to get to the shopping mall. Don't look for apples on the cosmetic section. Apples are here, cosmetics are there, gardening over there. Get to places that expose you to the very things that you are looking for in life so that you don't end up being a nuisance around the whole shopping mall, pulling trolleys from corner pillar to post. You cannot be telling me that you want a good husband, but you are found in bad places. You want an intelligent man, but you're hanging around with fools. You can't find your apples in the cosmetic sections. Get to the places which will expose you and give you those kind of people whom you are going to link up and run relationships with, who are of the quality that you're looking for. You deserve the best. And if you're in high school, and if you're in primary school, if you're in college, remember sometimes that your peers and your age mates are not your match. Your match is slightly higher. I always tell you high school kids, don't date fellow high school kids, because as a girl, your boyfriends are at university waiting for you. And by the time you get to university, you might discover, no, my real husband is actually running a company somewhere else. And you boys, your girlfriends are not in high school, they're in primary school. Slightly the back. I'm using the African analog here, so that we begin to anticipate better things that are ahead of us, things that can challenge us and make us better people. So don't meddle around and squander opportunities of learning into relationships which end up nowhere, because these relationships are going to take your time, are going to take your resources, and if mistakes should happen in those early relationships, you might end up being out of school for about a year, 2 years, bringing up a baby, bringing up a whatever. Unfortunately, the boy child will still be able to run their life while the young girl is struggling to bring up the next life. So the advice might be leaning more towards the girl child and say, preserve yourself. Don't get involved in these things too early. They have a tendency of always destroying what you're looking for. Principle number 5, 6. If you can't find what you're looking for, ask for the person in uniform. In all these beautiful shopping malls, you always find a lady dressed up in an apron with a badge and etc. These are professional people. They know where everything is. Look for help. Look for help if you need help. Ask strategic people. Your pastors, if need be. Your elders, if need be. Your counselors, if need be. And your teachers, if need be, to help you to crystallize. If you can't find what you're looking for within the shopping mall, Don't go about banging and hitting boxes and throwing tantrums. You may want to ask for advice and you get the right advice. Now it's going to get a bit tricky and cheeky. Don't touch fruits you don't intend to buy. Many young people just want to touch things, and young girls become fingerprint collecting centers where every Tom, Dick, and Harry must come and leave their fingerprint there. No. If you don't want to buy it, don't touch it. Why must you not touch it? Because it may break in your hands and you'll be responsible. This is for all the young boys. If you break it, consider it yours. Take responsibility for what you would have destroyed. But before you break it, do not eat on the shelf. Don't go about, you go shopping, and all of a sudden you're opening boxes and you're starting to eat. Did you think I was talking about eating on the shelf? I hope you are mature enough as a young person to hear what exactly the old man is saying. Don't go about eating on the shelves because you break things on the shelf. You might end up being responsible for them. And above everything else, do not put too many things in the basket that you cannot afford. Look at your quality of money that you have and only pick what you can afford so that you don't have to run through the back door when your trolley is full of things and run away. Come on, be the responsible citizen and always watch your shelves. And while you're watching your shelves, check for the expiry date before you buy your products. It's usually written at the bottom there. If you take the tin and look, expiry date by what? I'm talking about this thing of young boys and girls dating old women, dating young men as old women, and etc. And what are you going to do with them? They removed their ovaries 16 years ago, and here you are as a young boy at the age of 16, and you end up with a sugar mama. What are you going to do with her? She's done. You're going to end up again having to cheat in that relationship to find someone else who can give you children, etc. So check for the expiry date before you get involved. You don't want to be, as a young girl, to become a retirement package for some old man who has got no teeth left. He's got sugar diabetes. He's got what. You are heading for trouble. Let old people look after each other. Let young people look after each other. So check for the expiry date before you take these products and you take them home with you. And one of the last lessons I can give you, please, when your trolley is full of your products, avoid running through the back door. Come through the front door and pay for your goods. Pay for your goods. It's the best thing to do. Be responsible. Inform the families of whatever you're intending to do. Come to the counter and let's see. And for young girls, don't allow him to kiss you in private if he can't kiss you in public. Your mother must be there. Your father must be there. Your aunties must be there blushing. And we see you go off. And in case you forgot everything that I said, remember, on the shopping mall, milk and ice cream, particularly in Africa, you buy last. If you start by collecting milks and ice cream and you put them in the basket, and the temperatures are 38 and they are 40, you just look behind that fool walking around the mall and the ice cream is dripping everywhere on the floor and you wonder what's wrong with this guy. So these things that are perishable, let's attend to them at the end. In terms of building relationships, start with solid things. Start with solid things. So don't put bread and then you go and buy a packet of potatoes and you put on top of the bread. And what happens to the bread? It gets disfigured. So avoid issues. Solid things first. Your tins of beans, your potatoes, and everything else. And right on top of those things, then you can put on your perishable things. And remember, as you are shopping, you're always on CCTV. The world and the universe is watching you. So take your goods, please, after you've purchased them and you have paid for them. Take them home. We don't deal here with recycled goods. Go home and cook them nicely and enjoy your meal with your parents. I hope you can hear me, and some of these notes will assist you to navigate in life. Yeah, while you're on the shopping mall again, one other principle that I didn't share with you, avoid being on drugs. Avoid intoxication while you're on the shopping mall, because everything starts looking beautiful. Everything starts looking nice. And friendships and companions that you take with you to the shopping mall, they will influence your shopping. They will influence your decision-making. There are many young people out there who have done things in life, not because they wanted to do those things, but because the company and the friends that they are with coerced them. Hey, let's go. In fact, what's Kipan in South Africa? They say, it's Kipan. It means, what's happening? Can we go find ourselves something to do? And I always have a principle, if you have nothing to do, don't do it with me, because my time is fully accounted for. So friendships, companionships, and colleagues have a way of influencing you directly because of peer pressure. You may find yourself doing certain things, smoking certain things, testing certain drugs. And it's a big problem right now in Africa, where drugs are being introduced into their communities, and some of these drugs literally render young people dysfunctional. No food, no home, no bathing, no school, just end up as zombies on the road, which then again says, well, how did you start? If you go back and ask, how did this thing start? You'll always find a friend. You always find a colleague that was nearby to introduce them to the left hand. So the issue of companionship is very important. They say, when we're still learning English, birds of the same plumage collaborate in the same proximity. Serious English. People of the same ideas, people of the same inclinations. Find people who believe in what you believe. Find people who are going where you're going, so that you don't have to take detours in your life to satisfy other interests. Be well focused and find friends and company that can assist you to drive towards your goals and your agendas in life. No one is coming to help you in life. No one is coming. Not even Jesus is coming. It's you. Yourself must look yourself in the mirror and become a competitor with yourself. That person in the mirror there, that's your greatest competitor. That's one-on-one. If you ask them, who are you? They will also ask you from the mirror, who are you? And you and that person are age mates. And you need to compete not with the world, but compete with yourself. And avoid negative friends who will lead you into experimenting and spending your time in fulfilling their dreams and goals. And you ignore your own path to walk and achieve that which you must achieve for yourself. There are many ways over and above entertainment, getting yourself to read positive books of positive emulations, etc., which are all external. But as an Africanist, I would suggest the first bus stop is right here on your knowledge of self. To understand your roots, to understand your species, to understand your DNA, to understand your parents, to understand your grandparents. What family are you coming from? Family of warriors, family of kings, family of healers, family of court administrators. What exactly flows in your blood? And the first bus stop for me, which liberated me, was my totems. When I actually went back to study my totems and find Dimona Shoko, Dimona Mukanya, Vuzijena, Garamboko, Garamashamba Huda, Chirana Vanji, Makumbe Mwana Musendiwe Shano, Shugwestizas no Piguanona Manga, Varpedo and Tambana so, Tambori Paruari, Furu Mangoro Navachiri Vayo. And when you listen to those totems, they're already telling you, you are coming from the family of the great blacksmiths. You are the miners of iron ore and the forgers of it. You are the wise people that sit around the palace and the king. The kings come to you for advices. You are from the royal house of the Sose tribe. And so I did not need to go out there and hear it. But the very family lineage in which I am coming from, the royal house of Sose, quickly picked up my antenna, as it were, my compass, and helped me to know that I cannot be greater than where I'm coming from. And for everything that I have, if I look further back where I'm coming from, there is already glory that is written in my bloodlines. And to maybe without sending people to pillar to post in terms of identity, it's good enough for you, wherever you are, to know that I am Russian. I'm Russian. I am Xhosa. I'm Zulu. I am Maasai. We conquered these white people with no guns, with no carry. We chased them away. They had bullets and guns, but we won the battle. And what does that do to you when right now you're struggling with other forms of oppression, and you remember that your forefathers that live in you, and by the way, they are buried in the grave, but they are alive in your blood. So the past has never left us. The future is not coming. We are living in the abundance of the present tense. And to be aware of your presence in the present with the information of the past can be the best way of championing your way into the future. So don't look for more outside. I want to become like Schwarzenegger. I want to become like Denzel Washington. I want to become like, yeah, it's good to put that as a picture on the wall. But the question is, what is it that you already have, which Denzel and Schwarzenegger do not have? So best of all places of wealth and knowledge, it is knowledge of self. And when you study your ancestry, you'll understand more about yourself. And if you had an opportunity of resurrecting all of them and stand them here, you will be able to see yourself duplicated 1,000 times into the past. And if you should look at the skills that are now all summarized in you, that should be enough to give you a leaping board to heights of excellency that cannot be explained by anything outside. So for me, the truest sense of identity, the truest place, the fountain where humanity and the African child must leap from, is knowledge of self. It might be used as a cliche in many spaces, knowledge of self, know yourself, but I'm saying it in its fundamental form. To know yourself literally means research your history. You will understand yourself, the diseases you're suffering from, the problems you're suffering from, the inclinations, the proclivities, the identity, the appetites, the body look and mass, even small things such as dimples. And you would find that these things are actually inherited from our own DNA. And if you can put your fingerprint on your DNA, you will have connected with a center of power. Knowledge of self is the springboard of self-actualization. Learn what is right and throw away what is bad. Collect what is good, even from your ancestry. Some of them were murderers. Some of them were criminals. You don't have to go back there and say, my grandfather was a criminal, I must become a criminal. You select what is good, what is user-friendly for your life, and then you utilize on that. But over and above that, if you don't know and you don't remember who your fathers were and your ancestors were, then you need to study yourself as the object. Because by understanding exactly how you're behaving, you may actually have a vague picture exactly as to why. I mean, I was doing a research the other day, heroin parents producing heroin children, already addicted to the drug. So in other words, you drug yourself, and by the time you're done drugging yourself, you have actually drugged even that which has not yet been born to carry it for. You're an alcoholic. Most likely, your ovaries and your semen also have the contents of alcoholism. That becomes an inherited thing. So again, understanding that past gives you strength to overcome the problems of the present. So if you cannot remember or have access to the information of your ancestry, you may want to put yourself on a mirror very meticulously under some guidance. If you can't understand what you're doing, look for the person in uniform. Under some guidance, then someone can classify your character quickly and find out if I should follow you for the next 3, 4, 5, 10 days. What is it? What are you doing? What are your habits? What is it that keeps you ticking? And then if I can come back to find again, why do you feel you're obliged? What's this obsession that holds you with this addiction? You may find there are root causes of some of those elements. And again, I'm saying in a very polite way that understanding your past or understanding yourself will help you to overcome even some of the problems that you have. If the day you discover that your parents and family has been struggling with alcoholism, and this is hereditary, you may just pick enough strength to say, it stops with me. My children will not have this after me. You're able to cut off the ties between the oppression and obsessions and addictions of the past and create a new DNA, as it were, which is rewired differently. And when you make those decisions in the present, understanding of what we are doing. We are rewiring, rewriting a new. It's almost like picking up a file on your computer and going there and say, this file, delete. And the file moves away. And what comes after that, it's a totally different direction. There might be residues. But you will have been able to open up the first bus stop, the first envelope of allowing the next generation to have a new trajectory altogether. It's important. We may call it DNA, but for me, it is a very template of life. It's a very template of life. Unfortunately, when we look at you like this, we can't say, here is the DNA. It's mysterious because your hair contains it, your skin contains it, every piece of flesh on you contains it. Human body is an intricate tapestry of complex sciences that have come together. Even now, when you say you are alive, and I say, show me exactly inside you, where are you alive from? Where is the center of life? It's a combination of systems. The lungs are pumping, the heart is pumping, the brain is working, the nose are pulling in air, the eyes can see, the ears can hear, the tongue can eat the food, the stomach is digesting it. And this complex system as it works, and all of it represented in a strain of hair, I think is a mystery of the highest order. And to understand that, that's science on its own. To understand how we are made, the DNA that is in us, and how it forms itself into the whole of me. Mystery, that your hair will have the same DNA with your skin, with your stomach, with your body parts. It's all coded in a similar codes. And to appreciate what it brings into my present life, the memories, ancestral memories that it brings with it, which directly control my present life. It can only be the library, which no one has written, because that library is written in me. And to find that library, it is actually to tap into the very supersonic, as I always say it, into the supersonic space of knowledge that will move you to limitless, to boundless spaces, both of thought and function. You remove distractions with attractions. You remove distractions with attractions. Distractions are moving you away. Attractions are moving you towards them. So get to those spaces where, when destructive behavior, be attracted to constructive behavior. When destructive friends come, then be attracted to constructive friends. When destructive entertainment comes, then make a decision for constructive entertainment. So I think maybe distraction is not very far from attraction, because that distraction is derailing you from purpose. Attraction is aligning you to purpose. So it's a decision that one must make. I cannot say it better than that. It's a decision. Life is a daily decision, making the right decisions. And he who makes right decisions constantly has already secured the future. But he who makes wrong decisions constantly has already purchased a ticket for failure. It all boils down on one good decision on top of another. If you make 10, 15 positive decisions in a day, in a week, in a month, by the time you look at the summary of the good decisions, equals to success. But start doing drugs, start sleeping out, start having children out of wedlock, start quarreling with your mother, start stealing money to fuel your drug addiction, continue doing that. Let's give you 10 years. At the end of the day, it's written jail, comma, death, comma, sickness, comma, and it's a whole package. So a human being is a total sum of the decisions we make. The bad decisions, we can show the scars for them. The good decisions, the bank can tell us that was a good decision. The car outside can tell us good decision. The house can tell us good decision. And the looks can tell us good decision. But start tampering with other things, then we see tattoos, we see scars, bottles were cracked on your head, and the list is endless. Make right decision. And a combination of good decisions results in success. But constant failures and bad decisions accumulate in trouble. ultimately disaster.